Okay, back with the zinc cell, the zinc metal plate cell. I cleaned the top of the graphite pad and the contact piece of copper. I didn't give it a charge or anything. We're at 1.5 volts now, which is improved upon having the dirty contact and the dirty plate. And for a short circuit without a charge, 69 milliamps in holding. So just cleaning the surface of the graphite pad and re-cleaning the copper contact made all the difference for the cell so far. So later today I'll leave it in its state. I won't add any electrolyte or anything. We're still short circuiting, 70 milliamps now. I won't add any electrolyte because I want to see how long it actually lasts, and we'll see if we can get our 44 milliwatt hours out of the cell again. I won't do it now, but I'll get back later today and do the experiment hopefully, or tomorrow. So we're still holding our milliamps now. Surprising, the salts really goes through the graphite pads and mess up everything, so making contact to the graphite pad is going to be a chore, or quite tricky for a long-lasting cell. Still holding at 68 milliamps, so I'd say the cell's not too bad still. It was just that contact wasn't working so well. Alright, I'll get back later. Okay, I'm going to try an 18-minute charge for now because it's starting to go weird, and plus I have to go out in a minute, but hopefully later on in the day I can give it an hour's charge. So this is the zinc plate cell from the other thing, just disconnecting the charge. It's dropping a bit. That's holding at 2.4 and 30 milliamp load test, second day after cleaning the copper contact. Alright, that's a bit better than it was the other day because I think it dropped down to 1 point something instantly. And we've only had a 18-minute charge on this run. So far it's looking good. Haven't touched the all carbon one yet. I'll have to clean that pad. We'll have a look at that while I got some. Even the carbon one's somewhat dirty, but not that bad. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, I'm back. I'm at the 18-minute mark. That's our charge time, how long we charged it for. It's 14 milliwatt hours. The cell's still at 1.2 volts. It's looking good actually. So all the problem was just the dirty contact. And the electrolyte seeping up through there again. So that's proving to be a major drawback. Perhaps on a larger graphite pad you can just drill a hole and bolt it and have it like out here somewhere, well away from the electrolyte, and then you might gain a few more days. So design factors are a pretty major thing to keep the electrolyte out of your circuits. But I think the cell is actually functioning. Hopefully it's out by 1 o'clock. I've got to sort of go by 10 past 1. Alright, I'll be back. Quick little update. We're still 1 volt and it's been running for 34 minutes, nearly 35. We're at 23 milliwatt hours. Not too bad for an 18-minute charge. Maybe the hour charge is overcharged for the amount of carbon on the cell perhaps. I've got to try that later though. Pushing my time limit. It's nearly 1 o'clock. Damn. And the cell's still going. So, the cell looks like it's pretty valid to me still. It was just the copper contact which was dirty and corroded. Alright, I'll be back. Quick little update. The cell looks like it's performing extremely well. It's 31 milliwatt hours, 0.8 volts and 53 minutes on an 18-minute charge. It's actually performing better today than it did yesterday on its original setup. And the carbons, we've tested all the carbons in the same cell with the paper towel separators. So it looks like you get more bang out of your buck with the separators being adjusted than you do with your carbon by the looks of this. Because all that chemistry we've tested with the paper towel versions, but yet we don't get this performance. So we should all be looking into the separators perhaps a bit more on batteries. So I'm wondering if it will perform the same tomorrow or later on today. I'm already 18 minutes late. It don't matter. All in the aid of science. I'll get back when it's 0.5. Okay, we're getting really close to the cutoff time and it's still sort of holding in there quite well. We're at 38 milliwatt hours already. That exceeds the first test, because the first test had an hour's charge compared to an 18-minute charge. I'm going to try later the hour again, see if it does actually increase the wattage, but it may not. So I'm quite impressed with this. Not bad for shop bought stuff. The sodium polyacrylate I was using was from Nappies. Very hard way to source your stuff. Takes forever to get the stuff out of there, and then there's cotton and everything gets in there. I got most of the cotton out. There's probably little small pieces of cotton, but not too much. That was well, it was about there. I've wasted heaps of this stuff. So out of 60 nappies you get around about a jar, about that full. But after the 30th nappy, tearing them feels like you're ripping iron. You probably shouldn't do them all in one go maybe. So yeah, the goal here is to get the double carbon cell functioning as well as the zinc plate cell, which is going to be the tricky part maybe. So we got a total 38 milliwatt hours. I mean 38 milliwatt hours and 36 milliamp hours. So not too bad, and a total run time of 1 hour and 12 minutes. And a voltage bounce back of 1 volt. So that cell's looking alright. I'll see, go do some stuff, and I'll get back later today maybe, or tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Till then. Okay, I don't have to go out now. I can go out later. So back to the double carbon cell. The bottom collector, or the bottom contact, which is made out of copper, was the corroded side. I cleaned it up, smeared a little bit of electrolyte around the outside of the cell, just on the exposed membrane. We're at 1 volt, which ain't too bad after a discharge last night and left overnight. And for a short circuit, we have about 40 milliamps, which is considerably down compared to the zinc plate, but still not too bad. So I'll give this one a 18-minute charge and we'll get back and see how long that one actually lasts for. Okay, for the all carbon cell version of this zinc cell, we've been on charge for an hour. We're slightly higher on the voltage. I got 4 volts set on the charger and we're 3.7 there. Disconnecting charge now. Stopping the monitoring. We've hit 2.9. Still holding. I don't know how it's going to run. So we got 30 milliamp load and starting test now. On its first run, it only ran for I think 20 minutes or something, so it doesn't perform as well as the zinc cell plate version of this. So far it's higher voltage, but it's dropping fairly quickly. Well, we got to 1 minute, 2.2 volts, so that's a record for the all carbon cell. That's got to be because of the separator, surely. Alright, I'll get back when it's done, probably 20 minutes maybe. If we're lucky, it might go for more. Okay, the double carbon cell's done. It's 13 milliwatt hours in 20 minutes. At least it's consistent, but it's got an extremely weird voltage. 1.9 volts on it. And we'll check out what it's got for short circuit after it's run. Yeah, 1.92. And short circuit 80 dropping. So a bit of work and trying to get the resistance lower in this cell may gain some performance, perhaps adding some graphite, which I don't have. I'm totally run out. I even scraped the crumbs. See, there's a few crumbs down there. Or some other, I think it was in another couple of videos back for that one. So I gotta sort of look at saving some money to get some more graphite, and I'll try working on this. I'm gonna I got other carbons in the shelf. I might try recarbonizing them with some zinc sulfate as well, so I don't only just have this PGBG one, which is a bit don't want to be making that one, that smokes way too much. And it's not that fancy, I don't think. I reckon some of the sugar carbons might be a bit better. And 38 milliamps still on the short circuit, so that's not too bad a cell. So I'll disconnect that, and it's bouncing back to 1 volt already. And I'll see what the cells are like tomorrow, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The cell's been sitting around in the air for 2 days now, and I just pulled that top plate off and put some electrolyte on it because it's out in the air. It sort of starts to dry out around the edges quite well. Actually, it's stuck to that too. And we got 1.9 volts after 4 days sitting around, and for a short circuit it's 35 milliamps, which ain't too bad for sitting around being sort of dried. I just stuck the electrolyte in then. I'll give it a charge up. I sort of dislodged some of the carbon when I took the top plate off, so I'm not sure how well it's going to go. Hopefully I seeded it back properly. Wasn't that dry inside the cell, it's still sort of moist, but I just topped it up a bit to get rid of the crusties around the edge, and so it can handle a charge. Perhaps if it was wrapped in plastic or something, it would probably hold some of the moisture a bit more. So I'll give it another charge up and see how we go. I'll be back in about an hour. Okay, back with the all carbon cell. It's been 38 minutes on charge. I slightly increased the charge voltage to 5 for this cell. We're at 4.2, so I'll disconnect charge. This is about 4 days or so after the cell's life. Stop monitoring. We're still pretty high on the voltage for some reason. Not really sure why. It will drop down, but it normally drops off really quickly. Alright, 30 milliamp load test starting now. Not really sure how it will go. Looking okay so far. Should do about 20 minutes. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, the double carbon cell slightly down. I think it's 13 milliwatt hours. And we only got an 18 minute, or nearly 19 minutes, so 1 minute off. And 1 minute out of the... Yeah, don't worry about that. Alright, later on I'll do the zinc cell, and then I'll finish up this video for the time. And the voltage is 1.9 for some reason, don't know why. Alright, I'll be back with the other cell later. Hi there, it's the 5th day for both cells. The carbon cell's connected at the moment. We're still at 1.27 after its discharge from yesterday, which isn't too bad actually. for that cell, and for a short circuit we shouldn't get too much. Oh, it's still 30 dropping milliamps, that is. And today I'm going to refresh this cell. It's been sitting out for 5 days. You can see it's a bit crusty. Oh, and also I just noticed the clamps are bending, so the surface area is probably not totally correct. So I'll put a plate under there, a little glass pad. That should fix that. Hopefully it's not too dried out now to rework it. And we're still pulling 20 milliamps with a short circuit. So I'll clean that cell and I'll get back after an hour's charge on it. Oh, wrong one. First we'll check its voltage, just in case. Nearly forgot. Okay, we're at 1 volt on a dry cell. That's pretty good. And for a short circuit on this zinc plate dry cell with dodgy surface area. Oh yeah, we're not too good in the conductivity of electrons. So yeah, I'll be back in a while. Okay, I've got the plate apart. That's the surface of the zinc plate. Slight little bits of white stuff. It could be the zinc oxide coming out of the calamine lotion, because I smeared calamine lotion. I'll put some more on actually. It's pretty dry. Separator looks okay, but it's a bit bumpy due to that plate being warped. And I think that's the active surface area there where that grey patch is, so it's not using the whole lot. And again, with the copper contact, it was corroded, so I gave it a clean down. So I'll clean up. I won't clean that, I'll just coat it, see what happens. Coat some there and put some zinc sulfate on the other side, and I'll get back. Okay, I just topped up the zinc plate cell. It's right over here. Didn't fall apart. The membrane's holding together. The top layer of carbon's sort of gone inside the separator. And for a short circuit, hasn't had a charge yet. It's just been refreshed. And we're not, 2, 4, what's going, loose wire somewhere. I'll find that loose wire and I'll get back. There we are. It was on the cell itself, 75 milliamps. I think that wire's still a bit dodgy. Alright, I'll fix that and I'll give it a charge and I'll be back. That's not too bad after 5 days and dried out. The membrane still seems to be functioning. Okay, back with a 27-minute charge. Seems to be unstable. Could be too much electrolyte, but we're dropping off now fairly rapidly, so I'll call that the charge for now. Maybe because I put too much electrolyte and stuff in it, or it might be forming, I'm not sure. So disconnecting the charge. It's 2.5 and dropping. We've got 30 milliamp load test again. I think the last time it was about an hour and 12 minutes and 38 or something milliwatt hours for the cell. So here we go, starting 30 milliamp test now on zinc plate carbon cell. The voltage is definitely down on this cell compared to the double carbon cell for some unknown reasons. So probably 3% of graphite to the weight of this zinc carbon may improve this double carbon cell heaps. But I'll have to wait to get some graphite. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, back with the zinc cell after its discharge after 5 days. 1 hour run, so we're slightly down there and slightly down on the milliwatt hours. 37 milliwatt hours, I think it was a bit higher. And I think it was only an 18-minute charge compared to a 27. So I'll give it another charge and see if it's still performing not too bad actually. It only has a recovery of 1.1. Not like that dual carbon one's 1.9 for some bizarre reasons. I'll give it another charge and I'll get back with the results. Back with the zinc cell for the second charge on the 5th day. Timed that pretty well, 27 minutes again. So I'll disconnect it from charge. We only went to 3.2 and we're somewhat stable-ish, holding 2.4 so far. Stop the monitoring this time. That might have an effect on the cell too, perhaps. 30 milliamp test starting now. Somewhat stable-ish. Won't get 1 minute over 2 volts, I don't reckon, by the way it's dropping. I'll get back. Okay, we made it to the end of our discharge, 39 milliwatt hours, 1 hour and 13 minutes. So that's looking about the same as it was the other day. So it's looking like it's still valid cell, and the voltage is 1 volt, say. So not too bad results on the cell. I pulled it apart as well, don't forget. And that, but yeah, something to look into. I'll try an hour's charge and see what we get. So back then. Okay, we're at the end of the hour charge, hour and 5 minutes actually. The curve's a lot stabler for some reason. The voltage is the same. It's sort of creeping up a bit better. It's set on 4 on the charger, just under. We don't have so much oscillation in the voltage curve, which may mean it was just cell forming characteristics perhaps. Don't know, only guessing. So I'll disconnect charge. We're holding not too bad, sort of, for the zinc plate cell. Disconnect the monitor and 30 milliamp load test. Yeah, I think we're slightly up. And we're still at 2.3 volts, which looks good. We might get a minute at 2 volts, maybe, by the looks of that. So far the longer charge seems to be looking good. Yeah, we're easily going to make it 1 minute above 2 volts, so that's actually looking okay. Yep, alright, I'll get back. Okay, quick update. We're at 1 volt, 55 minutes into the test, and 39 milliwatt hours. It possibly we're about half of the cell's voltage now, so we could probably get nearly 80 milliwatt hours out of this run perhaps. Which makes it quite surprising. But I think the more times I add the calamine lotion, it's increasing the content of the zinc oxide as well, so might be something to do with it as well. I'll be back. Okay, the cycle's finished. It's 56 milliwatt hours, 1 hour and 37 minute runtime. That's still not too bad, and a recovery of 1.1, which is still quite not too bad for the cell. So there's the cell. Keep them going, see how long they actually might run for. So if you see another video, they're still alive. Alright, thanks for watching.